Thank you. We copy all, and we'll start with the introduction of the space station crew, and then Markel will introduce his crew. My name is Dmitry Kondratiev. I'm commander of the International Space Station, along with my crew here, with Paolo Nespoli, Italian astronaut, and Katie Coleman, NASA astronaut, and Andrei Borisenko, he's Russian cosmonaut, Russian Space Agency, and Alexander Samakutyaev, he's Russian cosmonaut, and Ron Garan, NASA astronaut.
Welcome aboard the space station, Your Holiness. To my left is Roberto Vittori. He's an Italian astronaut on a mission for the European Space Agency. Right behind him is Endeavour's pilot, Greg Johnson, and Greg Chamitoff, one of our mission specialists who just did his first spacewalk yesterday. And then Drew Feustel, who's our lead spacewalker for this mission, who's going to do 3 spacewalks. And next to Drew is Mike Fink, who after this mission will be the American with the most time in space, and won't be approaching what the Russians have, but a lot of days in space. Welcome aboard, Your Holiness.
Thank you very much for your introduction. Then I'll give the floor to His Holiness, who would like to say a few words for all of us, and maybe some question for some of you. Thank you. Over.
Dear astronauts, I'm very happy to have this extraordinary opportunity to converse with you during your mission. I'm especially grateful to be able to speak to so many of you, as both crews are present on the space situation of this time. Humanity is experiencing a period of extremely rapid progress in the fields of scientific knowledge and technical applications. In a sense, you are our representatives, spearheading humanity's exploration of new spaces and possibilities for our future, going beyond the limitations of our everyday existence. We all admire your courage, as well as the discipline and commitment with which you prepared yourselves for this mission. We are convinced you are inspired by noble ideals and that you intend placing the results of your research and endeavors at the disposal of all humanity and for the common good. This conversation gives me the chance to express my own admiration and appreciation to you, and to also collaborate in making your mission possible, and to add my heartfelt encouragement to bring it to a safe and successful conclusion. But this is a conversation, so I must not be the only one doing the talking. I'm very curious to hear you tell me about your experiences and your reflections. If you don't mind, I would like to ask you a few questions. First question. From the space situation, you have a very different view of the Earth. You fly over different continents and nations several times a day. I think it must be obvious to you how we all live together on one Earth, and how absurd it is that we fight and kill each one. I know that Mark Kelly's wife was a victim of a serious attack, and I hope her health continues to improve. When you are contemplating the Earth from up there, so you ever wonder about the way nations and people live together down here, or about how science can contribute to the cause of peace?
Well, thank you for the kind words, Your Holiness, and thank you for mentioning my wife, Gabby. It's a very good question. We fly over most of the world, and you don't see borders, but at the same time, we realize that people fight with each other, and there's a lot of violence in this world, and it's really an unfortunate thing. Usually, people fight over many different things. As we're seeing in the Middle East right now, it's somewhat for democracy in certain areas, but usually people fight for resources. And it's interesting in space, on Earth, often people fight for energy. In space, we use solar power and we have fuel cells on the space shuttle, but it's on the space station, it's the science and the technology that we put into the space station to develop a solar power capability gives us pretty much unlimited amount of energy.